Hi, welcome back to HATV. I'm Ann Malkmus.
And I'm Paul Malkmus.
And we have a special guest here today. Her name is Pam Dix, and she's from Sarasota, Florida. And boy, do you have a testimony for us.
Yes, it sounds like you were somewhat of a mess several years ago.
Well, that's one way.
Yes, that's exactly how I would put it.
So you weren't feeling too well.
No. Actually, I was sick for about 15 years of my life. For 2 years, I could hardly get out of bed. Conventional doctors couldn't really diagnose me, just kind of tell me what it's not. So I went to a holistic physician who, within 5 minutes of actually listening to me, told me, well, your liver's not working very well. So that pretty well described why I had a headache for 5 years and a sore throat for 7 years. And
so you had a headache for 5 years, like every day?
Every moment of every day.
Wow.
And a sore throat, burning sore throat, every moment of every day. And you know, the only thing that really keeps you going, you know, every day is that I didn't know if I was going to feel worse the next day. So that's what kind of kept me going every day, was I have to do whatever today because I may feel worse tomorrow. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So all that, year after year, day after day.
Searching. Absolutely.
And you had some skin. You were talking about your skin, wasn't?
My skin kind of just felt like there was, kind of gross, but I was a mess. So like there was a layer of sludge between, you know, my skin and my bones. I just felt icky.
Wow.
You know. So it all made sense. So I started doing some research on, well, what's hard on the liver. And meat was the first thing, so I became vegetarian, and then I became a vegan. And then after a couple years of that, 9 years ago, I found out about raw food. Sounds ridiculous to find out about what God put on the planet for us to eat, but
that's what happens.
Most of us don't realize that there's such a thing as raw food.
Yeah, we're so used to not, you know, just not eating it that way.
So did you find some significant improvement when you switch to raw food, or did you just gradually see the improvement as you went from vegetarian to vegan to raw?
I gradually saw some improvement. I probably got about, I would say, 70% well by being vegetarian and then vegan. But boy, when I went raw, it was like a light switch. It was just, wow. And I always thought, gosh, if I'd have found this first, you know, but obviously I wasn't supposed to.
And did you incorporate some juicing?
Absolutely. I do juicing. I do the Barley Max. I've done juicing for years. I've done different types of raw food diets. So, you know, I've done the type with, you know, all the crazy food combining and the this and the that and a lot of green smoothies and not so many. And I really find I have to kind of mix it up because our bodies are constantly shifting and evolving and our cells are changing. So we need different things. But the Hallelujah diet is really that perfect blend, that perfect mix of, you know, adding in that bits of cooked foods. So we have the protein from the beans and, you know, the juice, the Barley Max, and all those things. So, and it's easiest, I think, for people to do in the long run. Oh, absolutely.
Well, you've done a lot of research.
I've done a lot of research, and I also do nutritional consulting. So I feel very comfortable talking to people and telling them to implement this because I feel like it's very doable. Yes.
And you actually had the testimony to share with these people and say, I have done it.
Yeah, I've done it all.
So you started 9 years ago, really?
9 years ago with the raw.
With the raw. And then have you had any setbacks since you started going raw?
I am definitely not 100%. It is I would say kind of there are hills you go through. You find in the beginning you try to do it 100%. And people say they fall off. I don't really like that term. But, you know, what you basically find is that you're doing it for longer periods, then you're off of it. So you do it for a while, and then you go back to some of your old habits, and then you come back. And eventually it's kind of like, wow, I've been doing this a long time, you know, and you don't realize that you're not having those cravings and all those. And the juicing really helps with the cravings. I mean, if I ever start having crazy cravings, if I do a juicing for one full day, all the cravings go away. So it's really getting to know your body and those things.
And your health. How's your health?
It's amazing. It's amazing, yeah. I love it.
Ever going back to eating the way you were?
No, absolutely not. Why would I do that? No, and I remember at one point just laying in bed, and I was sick, and I was laying in bed, and I was looking around my house, and I said, it doesn't matter how nice my house is, how much money I have, I can't get out of bed. So just tell me what the answer is. Just tell me, and I'll do it. So once you have that answer, and I kind of said, tell me and I'll do it, so I have to do it now.
Yeah, you know, we can replace many things, but we can't replace our health.
No.
And our body, this is the one body we have.
Yes.
So it's pretty neat. Well, it's exciting that you found health and that you've seen such wonderful results just from changing what you ate. I mean, it wasn't any magic pill. It was just changed what you put in your body.
I did. That also brought on other changes I needed to implement in my life, and one of them was leaving a high-stress corporate job, downsizing my home, making it so there was less stress in my life, making sure I have a spiritual balance in my life, and it's all about balance. You know?
It really is.
Yeah.
But the diet is like the beginning of all that, and then it opens up all those other parts, those other pieces. But the diet's like that core.
Well, we seem to become more connected with all the different elements when we're healthy.
Because we're eating from the earth, like, so we do become more connected to
That's
it all.
right.
Yes, we sure
And you
do.
begin to see your priorities. And maybe a bigger home or a nicer job isn't as what it used to be.
No, love.
Well, it sounds like you've had quite an experience, and I can only, I mean, start to think of where you were, you know, 10 years ago.
I don't
And,
think about it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't think about it either.
I can't, it's very difficult for me to name my symptoms that I had, because that's not who I am. But I can talk to people about just the edges of it, you know what I mean, without going too deep to where I was.
Right. Well, thank you so much for sharing it with us today.
Thank
and
you for letting me. And,
yeah.
you know, there was a lot of depression, there was a lot of hormonal imbalances I did
can
forget to
imagine.
mention. So it helps such a variety of things, the food and the hormones and all those toxins that we're putting in our bodies. So it can help everything. Sorry, that's a big statement. I can't say
Well,
that.
no, that was. But you did. But that's really, I mean, but that's really the way it is. I mean, the body just wants to be healthy, and we just need to put the right stuff in it.
Give it what it needs. It'll take care of the rest.
That's really neat.
Well, thank you. Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing this. I know it will affect and help many, many people.
I hope so.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us here on HATV. This is AM and PM, and we'll see you next time.